Obviously, you got 2 days in fall camp here, but I know you've been with these guys throughout the summer. What do you like heading into the 2016 season? Has you thinking positive thoughts about this Wayne General football team?
I like our experience from last year, our youth. I love our speed. I love the way we worked in the summer. Our guys worked hard in the weight room. Our attendance was up from last year. Our parent participation was up. I think we're ready to go.
When you take a look at last season, obviously going 9-2 2 years ago, winning the SAC, and then going to 0-10. That's not what you guys wanted to do, but it's kind of maybe a blessing in disguise long term because you guys had a lot of young guys that got experience last season. How is that going to pay off?
I think just them getting experience and learning the process of high school football. It's a lot different from middle school. We have some new coaches to help those guys out, maybe that can relate to them a little more. And I think that just make them more hungry. Those guys, that group has never lost in 2 years coming out of middle school, and then they lost a lot last year. So,
as far as this group, specifically the sophomore class, how much are you counting on those guys to be major contributors? Because it seems like with Craig, with Darius, you have a lot of talented, physically talented guys out there.
Yeah, it's still about seniors. You know, the pups will be pups. 15 is 15 years old, no matter how you look at it. So this team will still be led by our seniors. We got a great group of seniors. We got 12 seniors that work very, very hard and ready to come back and prove themselves and change things around from last year. So our sophomore group will contribute, but it's still all about the seniors.
And reading about you guys, it sounds like you guys have some good pieces on the offensive line. How does that kind of set the tempo for what you guys are going to be doing offensively?
I think that was the biggest difference from last year. As far as, you know, we had some good guys, but if you're not strong in the weight room, you're not going to be able to push anybody around. Our guys have worked really hard on their core and their lower body, and our offensive line is probably our most improved area coming into this year.
Offensively, 48 points total last season. I know you want to get those numbers up. What do you do to be more successful and execute more impressively offensively?
I think we get our guys in space. We find ways to get them in space. We got a lot of speed, and last year we were in a more conservative, old school type of offense. I've kind of let down my guard a little bit and gone, listen to my coaches, and we're going to open things up a little bit and let our guys that are fast get out in one-on-one situations.
Defensively, is it the defensive line, is it the linebackers, is it the secondary that's really stood out to you? Because it sounds like you guys have a lot of talent defensive line.
Our secondary. I'm sorry, defensive line, they're great, but our secondary is all seniors. And they do everything together. They eat together, they sleep together, they read together, they do everything together. Our secondary is my favorite group on this team.
What is it about them that's going to excel on Friday nights when you're under the SAC lights?
They do everything the correct way. It's the chemistry that they have. They know each other well, and I think on Friday nights, the mix with that D-line and our secondary, and our guys just work ethic. I think our guys decided to, you know, probably back in December, sit down, we had a talk, and they decided to go hard, go work.
At this point last season to where you are at this point this season, how much have you progressed as a coach? How much have they gotten used to what you're doing? How much more at ease are you guys heading into the season knowing you guys have gone to battle together at least one season already?
Well, the biggest thing I learned is to trust my assistant coaches and delegate. I've been humbled. I'm very humble. Like I was telling you earlier, guys like Kirk Titman and Doug Dinan, those guys make this thing look easy, but it's not easy. It takes a lot of work. So I've learned to get experience, get information and knowledge from other coaches and lean on them a little bit and see how they do things. I think, but the biggest thing is trusting my assistant coaches.
Final question. In your eyes, what's the biggest key for Wayne to having a successful season in 2016?
We got to have great quarterback play. We've got weapons. We just got to get them the ball.
Who's your starting quarterback at this point?
DeAndre Collins-Jones. He'd be a senior, great kid. One of our leaders, great personality, but he's got to put it out on the field. Got to play.
What's impressed you about him?
His leadership, his character. He's not too high, he's not too low. He kind of just stays in even keel, and he leads those young guys. He keeps that sophomore class humble, and sometimes they can get a little big-headed. So.